Yan, we are still sa measurements ha. Review tayo konti with the scientific notation doon sa mathematical operations. So let's see if you can still remember what we have learned yesterday. Example number 1. I think I ended with addition, no? So let's have subtraction. Sige daw. You try first and then let's see if tama yung answer. Let's have the participation. Please do not use your calculator. You try solving it manually. If you're done, you can send your answers at chat. Okay. Sige, let us see if mga sinend nyo dito ay tama. Yan. So in subtraction, you need to first ensure that we have the same exponent. So in the given, we have 3.10 times 10 raised to the power of negative 2 minus 8.61 times 10 raised to the power of negative 4. Hindi sila pareho ng exponents. So what are we going to do? We will be adjusting one of the given para magkapareho sila. Yung 3.10 times 10 raised to the power of negative 2 as is lang tayo dyan because it's the larger number. We will be adjusting the other one. So how do we adjust? Then we have 8.61 times 10 raised to the power of negative 4. Kailangan maging negative 2 siya. Okay? So this is a negative here, a negative exponent, and we need to subtract para mahimo siyang negative 2. So pag mag-subtract where should we move the decimal point?
Left.
The left or to the
Left.
right?
Po, ma'am. Sa left po.
Okay, to the left. Move tayo ng 2 beses para maging negative 2 siya. Okay, so we have 1, 2. The decimal will be here now. Let's add 0 here. We may add 0 also sa left sa decimal. So this becomes now 0.0861 times 10 raised to the power of negative 2. And we can use it now for the subtraction. Ayan, times 10 raised to the power of negative 2. This is subtraction. And then in subtracting this, we'll just copy the exponent. And mag-subtract na tayo with the capital letter N. Let's place 0 here. para mas madali natin siyang i-minus. So let's borrow. Okay, ayan. So 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 minus 6 is 3. And then 9 minus 8 is 1. This is 0 minus 0. So 0. So 3 minus 0 is 3. So this is now the correct answer. 3.0139 times 10 raised to the power of negative 2. So bakit merong iba na hindi pareho sa atin ng answer? What happened here? Then the correct answer is 3.0139 times 10 raised to the power of negative 2. Parang nakalimutan ata yung negative na sign for the exponent. Look at your answers again. I think some of you answered 3.014 times 10 raised to the power of 2. Nakalimutan ang negative na sign. Okay. Let me see sino nag-send ng answers dito. By the way, do not forget the times 10 ha. That is very important for the scientific notation. Do not add the exponent right after the capital letter N. So may times 10 pa tayo dyan. Iba may answer na negative 3. So please check. Please check your process. Maybe you missed something sa process. That is why you have different answers. Okay. So questions about the addition and the subtraction. Anything na wala pa ninyo nasabtan para atua siyang uliton. Again, I ended with addition, an example for addition yesterday. That is why my example now is for the subtraction. So pareho ang rule ha, pareho ang rule ni addition and subtraction. You need first to ensure that we have the same exponent. If not, you have to adjust one of the given. It will be convenient for you to adjust the smaller number. Okay? And the larger number will be the same as is lang siya. So pag pareho na sila ng exponent, we can do the operation. You just copy the exponent and the one that you will subtract is yung capital letter N lang. Okay? And that's for subtraction. Now let's try the multiplication. Okay, so let's try this. You can send again your answers at chat. Let's see if you get the correct answer. In multiplication, in multiplying the capital letter N's class, you may use your calculator, even that is a simple one, kasi mahaba yung process pag mag-mental math tayo ng numbers like this. Again, just send your answers at chat. We have 2 students here who, okay, sige, dami na. Pero those who send their answers at chat have different answers, ha? So please check your process again. I think some of you missed something sa process. Anyway, your chat is being recorded. here for your recitation. Saan nga ito nag-start? Dito. Okay. Sige, let's try to solve this one. So what is our process again for the multiplication of scientific notation? What are we going to do? Anyone who can unmute your microphone? Yes, Mariam. What's the first step?
First step po, ma'am, is i-copy po itong times 10 raised to the power of 5. Ay, i-add po silang dalawa yung exponent po.
Okay. I-add. So if we add this 5 plus negative 2.
Positive 3 po.
Okay. Very good. Positive 3. Who was that? Sian?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, so that's for the exponent. Again, for the exponent class, you just copy the times 10, but for the exponent itself, you have to add the both of them. So 5 plus negative 2, that is positive 3. And then after that, let us multiply the capital letter N. So 6.3 times 2.75. Again, you can use your calculator here, whether it's simple or a scientific calculator. So 6.3 times 2.75 is 17.325. So this is again 17.325 times 10 raised to the power of 3. Is this the final answer?
No, ma'am.
No po.
Okay, what's wrong with this?
The N is
The
between
N, ma'am.
1 and 9.
Ah?
Sa 10.
Okay.
Greater than ano siya.
Okay, again, the capital letter N should be 1, 2, 9. And this is greater than 9. So we have to adjust. So if we adjust this, where are we going to move the decimal? To the right or to the left?
Left po, ma'am.
Left
Positive
po.
To
sa
the
3.
left. Okay, so this becomes now 1.7325 times 10. What happened to the
Power of
exponent?
4 po.
To the power of
Madagdagan ng
4 po.
1 po
Add siya,
si
ma'am.
exponent po ng 1.
Okay, very good. Pag nag-move ka to the left and that is a positive na exponent, you will be adding into the exponent. So we move 1, so we just add 1 here. So this is now the correct answer. 1.7325 times 10 raised to the power of 4. So let's see. Yung iba, parang 3 pa ata yung answer. What happened? Hindi na move ang decimal. Kindly check your answers there na sinubmit. Iba-iba kayo ng decimal, though parehas tama yung capital letter N, pero I mean yung exponent ninyo iba-iba. Okay. Let me see it again. Okay, sige. So yung mga iba yung exponent dito, ano nangyari, class? Ano nangyari sa sa solving ninyo? Saan kayo sa process nagkamali? Para ma-check natin ahead of time before tayo mag-quiz next meeting. Alin sa process na to yung na-confuse kayo? Para ulitin natin. Wala kayong question, I'll assume na naintindihan nyo ha yung ating topic. Okay, namali lang lagay sa calculator. Okay. Okay. So na-move nyo yung decimal but you forgot to add kung pila inyong gi-move sa inyong exponent. Okay. Sige, so be careful be careful in like moving the decimal point. You should not forget that you also have to adjust the exponent when you move the decimal point. So let us try the division now. Mag-move. Okay, this is the fourth one. Try solving this one. Okay. Okay, so what's the first step in the division of scientific notation? Yes, Ian.
I-subtract po yung mga exponent.
Okay, very good. Let's subtract the exponent. So this becomes now -4 minus 2.
Negative
Negative
6.
6 po.
Negative 6 po, ma'am.
Okay, very good. -6. -4 minus 2 is -6. Yan. And then, what's the next one? We will be dividing the...
N1 and N2 po.
Okay, very good. N1 and N2. So this becomes now 3.74 divided by 1.66 is medyo mahaba, no? Since we did not include the significant figures yet, you have the option whether to copy everything or to round this off. Pwede ran ninyo na i-answer nga tanan class kopyahon ninyo 2.25 301 20 48. Again, this is because we did not yet discuss the significant figures. So after this, we'll have the significant figures. For the meantime, let's copy everything. Or if ang nasend nyo sa chat is like i-round off ninyo, okay lang din. So this is 2.25 301 20 48 times 10 raised to the power of -6. Is this the final answer? Or do we need to
Yes
adjust?
po.
Final na
Yes
po,
po.
ma'am.
Final na, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Final answer na ito. So no need to adjust kasi the capital letter N is already following the format, which is the number should be from 1 to 9.
To 9.
Okay, very good. So tama yung mga sagot niyo dito. It's just that some of you copied everything and then some rounded off the capital letter N. Okay? So that's correct. So nakuha niyo na class yung process natin sa mga mathematical operations involving scientific notation.
Yes,
Yes
po,
po,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So you have there the option whether to use your calculator or to do the operation manually. But if ever class during sa quiz or sa exam you have to show your solution, then you really have to do the manual computation. So let's see what will happen sa exam or sa quiz. Just be prepared. Okay, so let's move on. We'll now discuss the significant figures. I believe you are very familiar with this since we are already done with the activity in the laboratory. So sa significant figures class, take notes sa screen. Those zeros that are in the left part of the non-zero digits, whether you have there a decimal point or not, are called leading zeros. Again, they are called leading zeros. And syempre, we have there the non-zero digits from 1 to 9. And then another one, we have the so-called in-between zeros. They are zeros found in between non-zero digits. And lastly, those zeros that on the end part of the given or the number or the data class is called the trailing zero or trailing zeros pag marami sila. Now let's have a review of our rules for the significant figures. Kasi we will be using this one. We will be applying this one even in the computation of the scientific notation. So atuan na siyang i-apply after. So these are the guidelines. Number 1, any digit that is not 0 is significant. So do not forget, the numbers from 1 to 9, they are all significant. So for example, you have there 845 centimeters. All of them are non-zero digits. Thus, they are all included in the counting of the significant figure. So we have there 3 significant figures. So that is also true for the second given, even if you have there the presence of the decimal point, but since they are all non-zero digits, they are all significant. So we have there 4 significant figures for the 1.234 kilograms. Another one. Zeros between non-zero digits are significant. Again, zeros between non-zero digits are significant. So they are called the in-between zero. So those that are found in between non-zero digits, like 606 meters. Syempre, the 6 there, the 6 there are significant. But we have 0 in between, pero kay in between man siya, significant siya. So we have there 3 significant figures. So that is also true for the second na example, 4,501 kilograms. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant, including
Ma'am, nakamute
Ma'am,
po
nakam-
ka, ma'am.
Mute po kayo.
sorry, na-mute eh. Again, 40,501. We will be counting all the non-zero digits and i-add natin yung mga zeros in between. That's number 2 guideline or number 2 na rule. Next, zeros to the left of the first non-zero digits are not significant. This is actually referring to the leading zeros. Okay? So the purpose of the zeros to the left is actually to indicate the placement of the decimal point. However, again, they are not significant. The leading zeros are not significant. So, example, 0.08 liters. Ang 8 lang dyan, class, ang significant. Lahat ng leading zeros, hindi yan sila significant. Even in the next example, kahit marami ka masyadong zero dyan, but they are leading zeros, hindi pa rin sila significant. So only 3, 4, and 9 are significant. Thus, here we have 3 significant figures. Okay? So review na lang ito kasi we are done with this sa laboratory. So if a number is greater than 1, then all the zeros written to the right of the decimal point count as significant figures. Actually, we are referring here sa trailing zero. So just like this one, 2.0 milligram has 2 significant figures. The presence of the decimal point there makes the trailing zero significant. So ito, in between zero na ito, In between kasi siya sa 4 and sa 6. Dalawa sila even if you have a decimal in between. So lahat sila counted. Thus 40.062 has 5 significant figures. So that is also true with the third na example. 3.040 decimeter. Meron siyang 4 na significant figures. We have 2 non-zero digits. We have 1 in between 0, so that's counted. And we have a trailing 0 there, but we have the presence of the decimal point, so it will be counted as significant. Now, if a number is less than 1, then only the zeros that are at the end of the number and the zeros that are between non-zero digits are significant. So, actually, pinahaba lang yung guideline sa laboratory kasi natin, i-summarize na siya, no? So, we are still talking about the trailing zeros here, na even if the given is less than 1, but you have the decimal there, it is still counted as significant. So for example, 0.090, the leading zeros there are not significant. So we will count starting from 9. And then since you have their class a decimal point, so this is also counted as significant. So you have 0.090 kilograms. Meron yan siyang 2 significant figures. So ito naman, we still have zeros here. The number is less than 1, but the leading zeros are not still counted as significant. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 significant figures here, including the zeros in between. And lastly, you have here another one. Again, the leading zeros are not counted. So we'll start at 4. 2, and the 0 here will be significant due to the presence of your decimal point. So trailing zeros yan siya na rule, pero actually we have another rule here. Ito kasi, for numbers that do not contain decimal points, the trailing zeros or yung zeros na nasa huli may or may not be significant. Yun talaga yung nasa rule class. Pwedeng significant, pwede ding hindi. But for us to be uniform, if meron tayong trailing zeros tapos wala tayong decimal point, let's not count it na lang as significant. Okay? Again, ang tandaan na lang ninyo, if we have like trailing zeros but we don't have the presence of the decimal point, let's not count them as significant. Kasi ang nasa rule, pwede siya significant, pwede din siya significant, pero dapat kasi ang gawin is gawin na lang siyang scientific notation. Again, ang rule, pag meron kang trailing zeros na walang decimal, pwede siya significant, pwede din hindi. Pero para maging clear kasi, ang gagawin is gawin siyang scientific notation para mas ma-count natin yung ano ba talaga ang significant or not. Pero pero ang gagawin natin, let us be uniform class na pag walang decimal, hindi natin siya i-count as significant. So sundin natin yung rule na natutunan natin sa laboratory. So let's do some exercise. Let's have the first one. So I'll be calling names to answer this one. I'll be calling names, so yung mga hindi ko pa masyado narinig yung boses, let's give them a chance to answer. So let's start with letter A. Sino ba dito yung hindi ko pa masyadong naririnig yung boses? Wait lang. Let's have sino kaya? Let's have first. Hirap pala mamili. Let's have first Rowie Jane. Are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what's the answer for letter A?
3 po.
Okay,
3 significant figures.
Sige, 3 significant figures kasi we have 1, 2, and 3. They are all non-zero digits. So they are all considered as significant. Now, letter B. Ricky, Nerona, are you here? Ricky? Can you hear me? Wala? So let's have another person. Wait lang. Let's have... Oh. Move kasi ang pangalan ba direct sa participants mong tanaw eh. Ito mga wapo ko kabati sa tingog. Angel. Angel na Arlos. What's the answer for letter B?
3 po.
Okay, very good. This is also 3 because we have 1 and 2 and this is in between 0 so it is counted. Okay, very good. We have another one.
Sina yung signal ko kanina. Pwede pa ako makarecite.
Sino yan?
Ricky po.
Okay, Ricky. Sige, letter C.
3 po.
Okay, very good. This is also three significant figures. We have 1, 2, 3. And this one is a leading zero that is not counted. Pag leading zeros again, not counted. Ayan. Now, we have Marie. Marie Pioren, letter D. Can you hear me? Kani mga nagatas og kamot manggod. Taas na kayo ni siguro og points sa recitation. Okay, Marie, we have 2. Very good. So again, the leading zeros are not included. So we will start here with 5 and 2. That is why the correct answer is 2. And lastly, let's have... How do I pronounce your name? Rizy? Rizy?
Rizzy po, ma'am.
Okay, Rizy. Letter E. This one is a scientific notation.
4 po.
Okay, 4. Very good. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the trailing zero here is significant. Kaya meron tayong decimal point. Okay? Meron pa bang hindi or na-confuse regarding sa rules natin sa significant figures? Or nasabtan na ni siya, if I'll be giving you a quiz like you have to identify the number of significant figures, I think kaya na, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sige. So the next slide will just be the answers. So let's have the calculations for the significant figures. Let's have this one. Review lang gihapon class kay human naman puntaan ni sa lab. So number 1, in addition and subtraction, the answer cannot have more than digits to the right of the decimal point than either of the original numbers. So to have it in simpler terms, pag mag-add daw tayo and mag-subtract, yung final answer natin will follow the least number of decimal point. Decimal point, I believe you know this very well. So just like this one, example number 1, you have 89.332 plus 1.1. We'll just add them. I-add lang nato. So we have 90.432. But the rule for addition is the final answer should follow the least number or the lesser number of decimal points. So pag kaning first nga given, you have 3 decimals or decimal places, and ang ikaduha nga given kay naa lang kay 1 decimal place. So dapat ang sundo nato ang pinakagamay. So mo ni siya ang 1. So pag mag-round off na ka, 90.432, dapat ang mabilin na lang sa final answer kay 1 decimal place. So taman lang ka diri class sa 90.4. But again, you have to consider the next digit kung mag-add ba ka og 1 or dili. So like 90.432, since this is 3, di ba pag 1 to 4, no need ka mag-add sa last digit na imuhang i-include. Pero pag 5 to 9, that's the time mag-add ka. So mo na siya, 3 man na siya. So the final answer here is 90.4. Okay? Now, for the second one, this is class subtraction. Addition and subtraction follow the same rule. So 2.097 minus 0.12. This will be an easy one, a simple operation sa subtraction, pero kailangan na to i-follow ang rules ni significant figures. So ang first nga given na siya 3 decimal places, and then ang second na given kay duha. So ang pinakagamay sa ilang duha is syempre kaning 2. Now, the answer here is 1.977, pero kailangan ang final answer kay duha na lang ka decimal places. So, we have 1, 9, and 7. Tama lang dapat ka diri, pero you need to consider the next digit. So, you have 7 there. Napasok siya sa 5 to 9, which means mag-plus 1 ka din he. Meaning na, the final answer should be 1.98. Okay? That's the rule for the addition. So any question about this? Kasi nag-quiz ta sa laboratory and I think may uban dito wala nakabawi sa second na quiz. Murag nakalimot sa rule sa significant figures. Anyone na na-confuse pa ani? So dali
JM, pangutana ng ipangutana kay Ma.
JM.
Ako nasa, ma'am, dili, oy, nakasabot mo kung explain ganina ako sa ilaha, ma'am, ganihara.
Okay, nakasabot ka, JM. Ganun ginairo ninyo na si JM. So,
Ma'am, ang tinuod,
Ma'am, siya man, sige, giro-giro sa mga, ma'am.
Ma'am, dili nakasabot.
saan sa?
Excuse, ma'am.
Yes.
Ilang hari, Jud, ma'am, ang dili nakasabot.
Ma'am, kapag
Ma'am,
addition
damayan
ang
po.
kapag addition, ma'am, ang gayahon ang pinakataas na
Pinakagamay,
decimal point.
Pinakagamay po.
pinakagamay na decimal point. Addition or subtraction. Pinakagamay. Parehas aning sa first na example. The first given, 3 iyahang decimal places. Ang second na given, 1 lang. So, ang imuhang i-follow sa imong final answer, kung pinakagamay, kaning 1 lang. Mo na nga ang final answer niya kay 90.4. Okay? Sige. Anything else? Oh, nabaliktad. Okay. So, do not forget ha, pag addition and subtraction, ang decimal places ang gina-count. Tapos, ang final answer will follow the list. Okay? Ang pinakagamay nga decimal places nga naa sa given. So, I hope klaro na siya. Para pag mag-quiz ta next week, kay dili na magmali. So this one is just class A reminder that when you round off, akong ginaingon, you have to consider the next digit. So to round off a number at a certain point, we simply drop the digits that follow if the first of them is less than 5. So just like this one, 8.724. Pag 2 decimal places na lang class ang final answer, syempre i-drop na to ning last nga digit. So let me write on the screen. So again, the goal here is 2 decimal places na lang. So we have to drop the 4. Pero we need to consider it whether mag-add ta og 1 diri sa next na digit or not. Pero again, pag less than 5, dili naman kakailangan mag-add. So mo na siya, simply we will just write the 8.72. Pero pag ang next nga digit is more than 5, 5 pataas, that's the time class mag-add ta og 1. So parehas ani, mag-round off ta ani ng mga examples into 2 decimal places. So like 8.727, taman lang dapat sa 2, kay 2 decimal man ang ato ang goal, but we need to consider the next one. This is 7, so it's more than 5. That is why mag plus 1 ta diri sa next na digit. That becomes now 8.73. That's the final answer. So I believe you are very familiar with the rounding off of numbers. So we have another one here, 2 decimal places gihapon na to ang goal. So we have 4 and 2, but the next digit is 5. So need na to mag plus 1. So we have 0.43. Again ha, pag lesser than 5, dili na mag-add as is na ni 8.72. Mag-add lang ta if the next digit is 5 or more than 5. Those are just reminders sa pag-round off sa atuang numbers. Now, let's move on to the multiplication and division. So what is our rule here for the multiplication and division? The number of significant figures in the final product or quotient is determined by the original number that has the smallest number of significant figures. So what does it mean? Pag mag-multiply daw ta or pag mag-divide ta, the final answer will be rounded off. I-round off nato siya following the least number in the given na significant figure. So we have this example here. Let me rewrite it. We have 2.8 times 4.5039. Okay? O ni siya ang atuang given. Now, we can always use our calculators here. So 2.8 times 4.5039. So that will become now 12.61092. Pero this is multiplication. Ang say rule nato sa multiplication, i-round off nato atong final answer following the least significant figure sa given. So mo na siyang time nga bilang ta og significant figures sa atong mga given. Significant figures ha, not decimal places. So for the first na given, you have 1, 2. You have 2 significant figures here. For the second one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 significant figures for the second na given. So ang 0 ha, included na kay in between 0 man na siya. Now, unsay mas gamay sa ilaha, syempre ang 2 significant figures. Meaning, pag mag-round off na ta sa ato ang answer, dapat 2 significant figures na lang sad ang mabilin. So mag-count ta class. We have 1, 2. So tama lang din hi class ang significant figures. Pero sa final answer, what's that? Okay, tama lang ta diri sa 2. Pero di ba ingon ko, kailangan i-consider ang next na digit, whether mag-add ta og 1 or dili. Now, the next digit is 6. That's more than 5. So, mo na nga mag-plus 1 ka dinhi. Which means, the final answer here is 13. That's how you do it pag sa multiplication. So, tama na ni siya kay ang 13, naman na siya duha ka significant figures. Nag-follow na siya sa rule nato. Ni question class sa multiplication. So dali ra kayo mag-multiply, usahay dito na ta maglibog sa pag-round off sa final answer sa pag-follow sa significant figures. Do not forget that ha. So let's have another one. This time we'll have the division. So for the division, we have an example on the screen. we have 6.85 divided by 112.04. So i-divide lang nato, we can always use our calculators here kay murag dugay kay tamahuman kung everything will be done manually. So 6.85 divided by 112.04 is medyo mahaba no, 0.061138878. So sa akong calcute, tama lang siya 8. Siguro sa ilahang calcute na pa siya 9. But anyway, well, that's okay. Kay mag-round off man ta sa atong final answer. So ang atong division class, parehas siya rule sa multiplication. Kailangan nato bilangon ang significant figure sa bawat given. Tapos i-follow nato ang pinaka-gamay nga significant figures. So duha ka buk atong given. Sa atong first given, we have 1, 2, 3. So, dapat daw ang naay, ang first one di ay naay 3 significant figures. Tapos, ang second na given, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, 5 significant figures na siya. This one is included ha kay in between na siya. Wait lang. Kachingan kay ko. First. Let us continue. So, among the two, syempre, ang mas gamay ang 3 significant figures, which means dapat ang atuang final answer 3 lang pod na significant figure. So kung tanawon nato, this is not significant, this is not also significant. So we will start our counting here. So this is 1, 2, and 3. So dira taman class ang atuang counting. We will see the next digit, it's 3. So no need to add dito sa previous na digit. So ang atong answer ani 0.0611. Tama lang ta sa 1. 0.0611. Kung i-check nato kung tulog yun ba na siya ka significant figures, syempre, di ba, dili man ni sila counted, pero appeal na sila sa pagsulat sa answer, ha? So, we have 1, 2, 3. So, yes, our final answer is following the rule kay naa siya 3 significant figures. Okay? Okay, sige, Jendi. Any question with this one? As dapit din hiyang wala na sabtan. Hindi ra kay mo manguta na class kung wala mo kasabot. Para before ta mag-quiz o mag-exam. Kaya na. Walay pangutana. So do not forget ha, number 1, pag addition or subtraction, inyong final answer should have the least number of decimal places. Pero pag multiplication or division, dapat least number of significant figures. That's how you do it. Tagaan tamog another example. Okay, sige daw. Let's try. Please send your answer sa chat. This is multiplication here. Okay. Sige. So let's see if tama na inyong answer. Let's do the calculation using a calculator, syempre. So we have 8.710 times 0.93. We have here, let me write it. According sa calculator, the answer is 8.1003. This is multiplication. So the final answer should follow the lesser number of significant figures. So let's check kung pila ka significant figures ang mga given na to. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 significant figures. 0 is included ha, kay na ay decimal point. Now how about this? This is a leading 0, so it's not counted. Dito mag-start. 1, 2. So the second given has 2 significant figures. So i-follow na to. Syempre, kani. Kasi mas gamay man siya. 2 significant figures. So let us count in the answer. We have 1. This is counted. And this is 2. So, taman lang ka dapat din ha. Pero let's check the next digit whether mag-add ta og 1 din hi or dili. So this is 0. Meaning ana, dili na ta mag-add. Therefore, ang correct answer class kay 8.1. So kani siya na siya 2 significant figures. Yan, let me check. 8.1. Yes, very good. Your answer is 8.1. Oops, nakalimot na nag-answer og 8.10. Pag 8.10 na siya class, 3 significant figures na siya. So wala na siya nag-follow sa rule. Okay, kay 2 man na itong pinakagamay dinhi. So dapat duha lang pod ka significant figures ang mabilin. So ayog kalimot ha. Ayog kalimot. Pag 8.10 na siya, meaning 3 significant figures na siya. Wala na nag-follow sa tuang rule. Okay? Nakuha na? Any question?
None po, ma'am.
Okay. So let's move on. We have accuracy and precision. Nag-istorya na puntaan ni sa laboratory. When you say accuracy class, this refers to how close our measurement is to the true value. Kaya naman yun na siya tinuod nga value class. And if we are asked to do an experiment to measure something, makaingon lang taog accurate ang atuang nahimong measurement if duol siya sa true value. So okay, so like 16 ml mo na ang tinuod nga volume sa isa ka liquid nya gi-measure nimo siya. If imo ang answer kay 16.8, that is not accurate already kay dili na siya considered na duol dito sa 16 ml. That's how strict we are when it comes to measurement in chemistry laboratory. Matawag lang na siya accurate pag duol yun siya sa 16, like 16.01, tungtong na ganun na siya 16.5, 16.4. That is actually not accurate anymore. That is far from the true value. Pero pag mayingon kag precision, sa chemistry kasi na laboratory, when we do measurements, we don't really measure something na kaisa lang. So, ulit-ulito na nato siya og measure. Meaning ana daghan ta og data. Na matawag lang na atong data og precise if silang tanan are close with each other. Meaning they agree with one another. So, parehas lang na siya class na ang illustration pirmi aning precision and accuracy is muratag nagdula og dart. So syempre kanang naa sa tunga the bullseye, that will be considered as the true value. And when you hit that bullseye, it means your data is accurate. Again, your data is accurate if you hit that bullseye. So just like this one. So naa siya sa bullseye. So that is why there is high accuracy here. And this can be considered as high accuracy also because most of the data falls in the bullseye. But Kani na mga wala gyud na hit ang bullseye, dili gyud sila close to the true value, then they are not accurate. Okay? Now, how about the precision? I told you, nasa chemistry, we don't do the measurement once only. We measure it repeatedly. So, pwedeng katatlo, pwedeng kalima, depende sa ina-require. So, matawag lang na siya na precise if the data are close with each other. So sample number 1, they are not really close with each other. That is why kung nakita ninyo, we have low precision here. That's the same thing with this one. Accurate siya because most of the data fall in the bullseye, which is considered as the true value. When we get the mean or the average here, most likely the average will be close to the true value. But this is not precise because you have data there na medyo malayo from each other. And this one, though this is not accurate because we don't hit the bullseye here, pero your data are close with each other, so we can call this as precise, pero dili accurate. Kani ang ato ang gusto class. When we do measurements in the chemistry laboratory, what we want to get is high ang accuracy and at the same time high pud ang precision. So I hope dili na ninyo i-interchange na og gamit no word usahay manggod moingon ta nga yes accurate akong data or yes precise akong data. You should know kung kanus-an ninyo na gamiton na mga terms. Accuracy kung duol siya sa true value, pero precision kung we have a lot of data and then they are close with each other. Okay, so I think that ends our discussion for the measurements. Any question with this? Asa dapit din hiyang wala na sabtan? Wala na? Yes, Natasha?
Accuracy and precision, ma'am, like, unsa ang range dapat kung how close siya sa number?
Okay, actually, depende siya sa ginahimo nga measurement. So for example, most of our examples kay naa siya sa volume, no? Pag volume manggod ta, dapat naalang na siya kung 16 ang ako ang ginaingo, naalang pud na siya sa 16 to 16.1 or 15.9 to 16 nga data. More than that, we cannot call it accurate anymore. Kay ano man, accuracy man gyud ang ato ang ginatanaw. Pag-abot sa chemistry, we are very strict with that. So, ang allowed nato 16.01 hangtod 16.1 or pwede na po siya mas baba sa 16 like 15.9 and in between. Accurate pa na siya matawag. Pero pag mulampas na siya beyond those numbers, we consider it not accurate anymore. Mag-low na iyahang accuracy. Pero wala din ang precision manggod kay sa data nimo kung they are close to each other. Yeah, pag 16.2, we don't consider it accurate anymore.
Okay pa, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. That's how strict we are sa chemistry sa laboratory. Kailangan good accurate ang data. Anything else? Wala na. So let's